if you want to learn anything about World War II these days, you kind of have to either listen to a long podcast or you have to read a very big book. And if you want to get unbiased information, you have to do lots of that. But what if there was a way that you could learn about World War II in real time, day by day as it happened, as things changed, as news came in? What if you could live as if you were there at that time? That's what I'm trying to build at the moment. The last couple of weeks, these sort of projects have been popping off a bit on Twitter. If we just have a look, it's essentially like an updating map where you can click on different points and get information about what's going on. Real-time global intelligence dashboard, AI-powered news aggregation, geopolitical monitoring. This kind of shows what the vibe is. But I've been seeing lots of like new ones popping up too. So they have public information tracking here, so we know where the military bases are, we know where the conflict zones are, etc. Like this is known information. But also I've been seeing ones where they might have like Kalshi or Polymarket up here with like what's been up, or you can see down here there's like live news. So people are starting to use this as like a new way of getting the news as opposed to just reading news stuff in general. So why World Monitor? You can kind of see a couple of things here. So for example, static news feeds, but this is real-time updating. Especially considering that there's like prediction markets involved and all the different news sources aggregated. If it's built well, it's a very reliable form of unbiased information. This is kind of what it looks like. Live news straight away, I love this. You can kind of click into different ones as well, and these are just webcams as well, so it's not even news. You can also kind of filter out the information you want. If we zoom in, okay, this just means high alert, but I don't know why it's high alert. Wow, okay, you can click on a country and get a kind of index on the country too. That's pretty cool. This is more focused on tech. Happy monitor list. This is more focused on happiness, I think. Let's have a look. Wow. This is great. How many babies are born today? How many trees are planted today? Just such a nice way of exploring the news. Let's see what else people on Twitter are saying. Because it's public on GitHub, it's also forkable, so people are building some cool stuff. Yeah. So that got me thinking. This is all like live news, right? Like this is all up to date live news today. But what about doing this for something in the past? And it got me thinking. World War II, lots of information out there. Why not build this, but for back in the past? And that's what I'm working on at the moment. So, World War II Replay.com. This is a updating map of the world every single day, 87 years ago. Work in progress, so it's not as built out as those other ones yet, but it's taking inspiration from them. So if you click on a source here, it zooms in and it tells you kind of a summary of what it's about. So this was reported last week about a soldier parade in Barcelona. Now we're in 1939 February right now, and World War II actually starts in September of this year. So the idea is for the next 6 months, I'm going to live update this map with new sources that come out. And yeah, you can actually follow World War II as if it's happening right now today, with notifications, etc. So you can see these sources came in today. The tricky part is figuring out how to ingest data because there's so much out there about World War II. You can see here, like February 28th was mentioned in this page, and then the news story was made from that. But I want more than just Wikipedia because it's, especially pre-war, you have some slow news days. So that's the first thing. I need to have better sources of information. The second thing that's going to be interesting to build though is the updating borders. So I really want it so you can see, for example, the outline of the Axis powers boundaries, and then as the days go on, you can see how the front lines evolve, and you can see, during World War II, like all of France get taken and stuff like this. So that's also going to be a bit of a challenge to try and figure out how to build. So I think the two main things to get through are the map and the newspapers. So let me show you the newspapers and why it's such a challenge. So this is a open kind of use collection of old newspapers, American newspapers to be exact, and they do have like a build your own API for it where you can pull information from, but it's a bit tricky because it's hard to get the right newspapers. Just an example, I searched February 28th, 1939. If we scroll down here, we're getting newspapers that aren't from that day, and it's because February 28th was mentioned in the newspaper. They haven't done a good job at like actually segmenting the newspapers based on the date it was launched. On top of that, let's just click into this one, for example. So this is the second image of the newspaper, but as you can see, it's an image. And they do have some text extracted, but it's not very formatted. So the main challenge is to figure out what newspapers to pull, because there are thousands on this website. We have to pull the newspaper, we have to find a story that's relevant for the updating map, and then we have to pull a summary of that and put it on the map. The nice thing is it's just an engineering challenge. It's not anything new. It's just a bit kind of complex pipeline. The real challenge will be when it gets into the actual war itself and like aggregating stories from Germany, stories from maybe London, stories from America, even stories from Asia to kind of make a cohesive story and truth about what happened at the time. But the nice thing is there's 6 months until the kickoff of the war, so I have lots of time to figure this out, and it's up and running now as a prototype. So I'm able to get feedback and build it as I go. But I'm really excited about this project. I built it all using Codex. So let me put it over. You can kind of see that a bit on the side. But yeah, I'm just using Codex, typing in English, figuring it out. It's been good so far. My work for today is to see if I can get just any data from the newspaper. If I can get that working, I can figure out then how to extract the proper information. That's my main goal for today. But yeah, it's been fun. Looking forward to smashing out some more.